it just repeats. So at least I've given you a somewhat of a version, and you can hear it's a really well structured song. You have two sections that are really, really different, and both sections are very memorable. So, what have you to say about this one?
His voice, okay. When
Yeah.
they say your voice is an instrument, this is so perfect that he uses it as an instrument, and he has a quality that's so different, unique. It's all his own. It's like a persona, and he almost has a haunting voice, and it's a sexy voice to me. And you follow it. I mean, I follow it along as if he's playing some piece on the violin, where you're just going along with it. And that's my input there.
I think it the haunting quality of it spoke to me, which is one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites. And also, the first time I heard this, I was in that headspace of being a loner. And
Ah,
so what he was talking about was really, really, really resonating with me. It was like, people look ugly when you're alone. I mean, that is a brilliant lyric.
yeah.
And when you take it apart from a songwriting standpoint, is that, the angst is all there, and yet the sound of his voice is restrained, and you're not getting that kind of from it. You're getting this almost dispassionate um overview of what you're seeing. And I think that was what drew me in. It was like there was this resignation in the voice that this was just the way it was.
Well, it was uh, the mantra of many people during that time. It was a time where there was a lot of alienation and people feeling alienated. And what I find in all three of these songs, and so many of what we listened to, there was something universal about the message, and it was right there in the title. It was right there in the lyric. Because whether it's Touch Me, which is a little more sexy romantic, whether it's Light My Fire, which is rebellious and sensual and exciting, or this, which is also, you see some of the theatrical background too. It does have a theatrical quality. Um, but they're universal. And in terms of songwriting, I always feel if the title can encapsulate what the song is about, that helps to sell the song and helps people to remember it. Uh, so much of uh, when people write, what they choose for a title is not always the most representative of what the song is about. But in each one of these, again, the songcraft was really there.
You picked some doozies here. You really did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Real good ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Any final comments about the Doors?
I
And
just feel like taking out my album and just listening to it all over again, the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, Riders on the Storm is also a really, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
an epic accomplishment.
But it didn't have the songcraft attached to it, so that's why I didn't pick
No,
it.
it was more production and
Yeah.
vibe.
Well, you had that Riders on the Storm. Well, you got the hook,
You got me.
and you got the title, and you got that whole thing there. Um, and another one that I considered, but I didn't pick, was the Crystal Ship,
Hmm.
which is very picturesque and very poetic. Um, once again, the songcraft wasn't as strong. Um, but they uh, people just were so into the whole vibe of the Doors. And also back then, you'd have a hit album, and you'd get 4 or 5 songs out of a hit album if a record company knew what they were doing.
Hmm.
And so even songs 3, 4, and 5 would at least get onto the charts.
Just amazing. Yep.
You picked good.
Well, thank you. Well, next time, in fact, maybe if you've got any ideas, let me know. I'm going to go to Jimi Hendrix for next time.
Wow. Okay.
And here's another unrecognized genius. He was recognized celebrity, but some of his writing and some of the poetic imagery of his lyrics, and also, wasn't he the first power trio? It was just 3 of them, right?
Yes, just 3.
And then there were a whole bunch that came after him that patterned after. Even the Police weren't they original power trio?
Yes. Yes.
And it's such a tragedy that those guys didn't live another 2 or 3 or 4 more decades. But anyway, we'll take a look. Is there any one of his songs? I mean, we're gonna, of course, do Purple Haze. Um, Along Comes Mary was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I'm of the club Gail was mentioning earlier of, and I believe there was a bumper sticker or a shirt that I had actually read that it said, I'm one of those listen to the song till the, stay in the car and listen to the song till the end kind of person. Yeah, that would be me for sure.
Well,
But
as long as they have something worth listening to the end, and
absolutely.
that's the criteria that I'm using uh,
Yeah.
in selecting songs. I don't want a song that loses my attention somewhere in the middle. And that's always been when I've critiqued songs, whether I'm on a panel at a songwriting event where I'm uh, uh, meeting one to one with clients or uh, whatever. Also, I am working. I'm going to make a whole collection of stuff I'm doing. I'm going to do anatomy of hit of each one of these songs. I will be sending you an anatomy of a hit uh, framework that you could do your own analysis if you want. I'll give you my criteria. You could fill in the form, and maybe you'll have a little different variant than I do, which is great.